One night I was working in Pod. We're talking about the late 90s. I was working in Pod, finding it impossible to get a taxi home. So I left my records in the club, decided to walk home. Now I'm a little bit jarred, and I thought, when you're a bit tipsy, I thought, oh crikey, I don't want to go straight home. It's going to be impossible to sleep. Walking down Angel Street, realised there's a sauna nearby. I know the guy who's actually working in the sauna, a friend of mine. I thought, you know what, I could easily slip into the sauna. It's all hours of the morning, it'll probably be really quiet. It was a miserable old night. I figured, okay, I'll actually go in and see if I can have a steam in the sauna and actually just simply detox and get rid of all the alcohol that was in me. So anyway, I go up Bow Lane East, walk inside, meet my mate. I say, listen, any chance I can just go inside, use the sauna for a while? And it was definitely quiet. There might have been some guys inside. We're talking about a gay sauna now. There might have been some guys inside, upstairs, whatever, watching videos, copping off, whatever, I don't know. I wasn't really interested in that. Strange as it might seem. Go inside, I'm really enjoying myself, sitting there in the sauna on my own. Oh, lovely, gorgeous dry heat, drinking loads of water, and I figure I'll go into. Now there's nobody in the place at this point. I hadn't come across anyone. We're talking about 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. So I go into the steam room, open the door. There are 2 elderly guys in there. One of them is sitting down, having a wank, tucking away, clutching a box of Benson Hedges. Now this is in the steam room. Drip, 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 drip. Sitting there, and I'm going, okay, whatever. Next to him, on the tiled bank, is this other guy, comatose. He might as well be dead, although I could hear this laboured breathing, a sort of milky white skin. And he's obviously been in the steam room so long, his skin had started to peel, like that, where it was sort of like crepe paper. And I went, oh, for God's sake. So I hightailed it back down to reception and clocked my mate, and I said, listen, we've got a situation here. You need to go back up into the steam room. There's a guy needs medical attention. So anyway, I go back upstairs, go back up to the steam room. The other guy is still sitting there, tugging away, and I'm going, oh, for God's sake, would you leave it out? What is going on here? Is it? Myself and the receptionist try and actually take this literally dead weight nude body out of the steam room. So I'm grabbing both ends of this body. I'm holding him like under his arms like this, trying to lift him up. He's slipping down. He's been in. He's a prune. He's been in the steam room for whatever length of time. He's wet, slippy. We're trying to lift him up. And all the time we're trying to do this, Tom, this is the sauna receptionist, is obsessing about trying to cover his nudity with a towel. And I'm going, for feck's sake, leave it out. We need to get an ambulance here. That's more important. So we finally lift him up. Finally managed to take him in our arms, and we're humping him across the threshold of the door, sauna door, and the next thing, he evacuates all over the place. Standing there like this, and you can imagine the scenario, in a towel, barefoot, in a towel, going, oh God. Anyway, Tom turns around to me and says, okay, I think you've done your duty for today. You've earned your 10 brownie points. Off to the shower. Thank you very much. Has your man down on a couch. Obviously phones for the police, ambulance, and everything else. By the time I've come out of the shower, your man is still there. Nobody's arrived. So I decided to go off and dry off in the sauna, which is also down the actual sauna room. It's down just within spit's throw of reception. Next thing, of course, me being nosy Parker, I'm sitting there, again, deathly quiet. I'm the only one in this room, looking through. Now, you have to actually remember that this sauna actually was the scene of a priest dropping dead from a heart attack about 4 or 5 years prior to that. And in fact, it made its notoriety on the fact that not only did the priest actually drop dead there, but there was another priest on hand to actually give him the last rites. It became a major news story at the time. We're talking about sort of the mid-90s. So 4 or 5 years later, this is in the back of my mind, I'm going, oh, come on, does it ever end? So I'm sitting there actually watching the police interacting with the sauna receptionist, and they're going, okay, do you know his name? Do you have his clothes? And of course they have no idea. Poor Tom, of course, falls to him to actually go upstairs to the cubicles in the sauna, knock on the door and go, excuse me, sorry to bother you, but what's your locker number downstairs? My process of elimination, try and actually figure out what locker was being used by this unidentified, nude, unconscious body in the matter. Okay. Of course, the cops are there going, was he drinking? Was he on drugs? Was he doing poppers? And I decided at that point, okay, do you know what? I've sobered up. I've had my bit. There's nothing more I can do, and I'm wide awake. I think I'm going to go home. I left it at that.